Okay.
This is the new iCON. Now you've done the driving, you've done the orientation, I've done the reading.
Yes.
So this is the new iCON.
That's right.
And it's 3 main principles. I control, I connect, and I what?
I don't know.
Configure, you clown. I control, I connect, I configure.
So it's all about this.
And I, as an I, can do all of this now.
Being one with the Fastrac.
Right.
Yeah.
Or basically bringing it up to where it needs to be to compete with the modern day agricultural tractors that's out
Do you
there.
want to go drive first or
Drive, and we'll talk.
Right. Okay. So we'll go through the drive first then, how they've changed that. So
But let's get straight into it for everybody that's watching. She's the same tractor as the 4220.
Stage 5.
Stage 5,
yeah.
which we haven't drove yet because our 4220's a Tier 4 final.
Yeah.
So she's a stage 5. How does being in a stage 5 feel? She's not just got that rev.
Well, they've done away with the 2-stage takeover.
Yeah.
That's gone. So now she just idles at 850. Whereas our one would have idled at like 650 and then went up to 1,000
Yeah.
once you touched anything.
So Tom and Poppy were talking us through it all there.
Yeah.
You were away having a drive and chatting to obviously Tom, and I was chatting to Poppy about the tractor. But one of the key things Poppy was trying to get through to me is that yes, they have all of this iCON or iCON. I'm going to call it iCON. I know they're going for connectivity, but I can do everything with this tractor now. But she was very adamant in saying to me, but Gareth, it's still the same as what you know and you love. You can just jump in it, get into forward and go, and that meant an awful lot to them. But I'm looking over my shoulder and it doesn't really look anything similar.
No. Well, yes and no. They've just made it more user-friendly. You can the connect part and the configure part has all been upgraded.
Yeah.
Whereas all this can be basically whatever you want it to be.
So we said, Gary, infamously we were in ours drawing a bit of silage, and I was holding the door like this here to keep the wind noise from coming through. Now we don't have to do that anymore because there is no wind noise, because they've changed where the door and all closes different. It closes a lot nicer. But we went through our list that we had of things that you didn't. Now, like's the wrong word, but things that you would like to see changed. Now what has stuck out in my memory is you said that you liked the joystick, you liked feeling the joystick, but there wasn't enough of functionality on it for the modern world. So, and you didn't like when you were drawing with a trailer, you pulled into a yard, you felt you had to go to power shift to allow you to get revs on, to get the trailer tipping. You thought that the screen was dated and it was too not complicated, but it was complicated is the wrong word, but it was just awkward. It wasn't as nice to work.
There was no auto save or anything like that on it, you know, wherever every function you changed you had to make sure and save it. You know, it was just
But quintessentially, then you said even simple things like looking up to the radio. So what they have done in essence, guys, is pretty much everything that not based on our conversation, because it was well in play at that point. But what they've essentially done is bring that level to it. So like, to start off simply, you have a row of switches there. So your temperature, your phone, your radio, your fans, all of that can be done down there without the need to look around. Do we need to do? Joystick, right? I'm looking at it, I see orange, which we know was transmission related, it's a standard thing, and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many buttons had we on our last joystick?
Just the 4 on there. That was all you had. That was it. So that was basically.
But that had to do everything.
That was 2 functions really. If you were to say spill valves, that was a direction.
But you have 5 dedicated to service work,
Yeah.
or whatever you want
Yeah.
it to be. But you also have 1, 2, 3, and the rocker switch dedicated to
Yeah, that's
cruisers.
That's
and,
on this,
Yeah,
and then, which is totally new,
joystick,
we have this.
which is a fairly standard joystick at this point, with 4 buttons on the top, side
Yep.
rocker,
Side
But-
proportional switch, and then you have obviously your.
axle movements.
Yep.
And
But then
you
it has
have,
an A and B.
I see that, and an
Yeah.
isobus.
An isobus configurable, yeah. At the moment, this is isobus. You know, that's where you use that, or tractor related too, obviously. But that's, you kind of basically. So you could have up to 8 functions on here and just switch between A and B,
Yeah.
and plus have your cross as well, which is a mega step forward.
Well, they didn't have that.
That wasn't-
They
that
didn't
wasn't
have anything
there.
like that. It was just
It wasn't there.
4 buttons,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are still there.
Which are still there, yeah.
Only they're lit up.
I had 4 spools, yeah.
What about lifting and lowering the arms and all of that?
That's
crap?
here now. That's your rear link,
Yeah.
front link. So rear linkage, front linkage.
Top, middle, and bottom.
Yep. That's that, or you have them here. Remember the way we had the 2
Yeah.
rockers here before? Well, they're here now, and they have under just a stop switch. You know, before in ours you had to double tap the direction you want it to get it to actually stop. Well, now you have a stop. You have a dedicated stop switch. CTO switch is just down in here nicely.
Yeah.
And then that's your upper lower limits, draft control, etc. You know.
Can you drive her on the stick now?
Right. Well, what they've done, remember the old one had modes.
Yes.
Well, we don't have that anymore as such. I'm on the pedal now. Okay.
Yeah.
And then if I want to go to stick, she'll just pick up my speed, and she'll strive to stay at that set speed.
Slow down.
Pull back.
Used to be side to side.
You can still have that.
How do we change direction?
Change direction, button, and back. Okay. And
High to low.
high to low is here as usual.
As usual.
Yeah, but this is nifty. Now if I'm doing this and I want to fine tune, tap over. So I can use my roller now to fine tune speed.
So take me to exactly 7.9, please.
It's alright.
Here we're getting a bit excited at 7.7, 7.6. That's fine. We're there.
Yeah. Or there's a detent in it where you can actually push your arm.
Give her the beans.
Yeah.
I can see me driving like that. How does your hand sit on it?
For me, I really like it. So if I want to just go back to, I can either touch my brake and she'll always revert back to pedal mode.
Okay.
Okay.
So cruise 1, cruise 2.
Cruise 1, cruise 2.
Cruise
on
1's
his, yeah,
20k.
that's your preset RPMs. It's just set at the moment. So she'll tell you that on the screen there. So that's your. So what you can do on her as well, or she'll go to there. But I can still drive on my pedal now at the RPM.
Like this wee screen here.
Yeah.
Is that touch screen?
No, that's purely reading off this. That doesn't
Yes.
do anything as such.
But it just gives that element
Yep.
of familiarity.
If you say you have your GPS screen up here, for instance, you know, you can still have your main.
And you don't feel it
functions on
impacts
there.
visibility at all. I don't think it does in this one.
I should be fit to go back to my. So if I go home, so that's your main screen. And then this is like this would be your isobus screen. If you had something connected, it would tell you what was on behind
Yeah.
and what functions you have dedicated.
Yeah.
That's your GPS screen.
Cool and new.
Right, so that's more of a in-depth screen where your flow rates and all would be set.
And can I configure?
And that would be your implement you've selected. Would be on here for your headland sequence.
Yeah.
And then if you have a screen that you want, you still can have some tractor features here, but you can have your camera as well.
What level of connectivity is on our buttons? Like, for example, could I have button 1 on your main joystick here? Could I have button 1 4-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Could I have button 2 GPS?
Yeah.
Could I have button 3 drop me back arms?
Yeah.
Could I have button 7 isobus lift my rake all out of the field in sequence?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the level
that's
you're
what we're at,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But it's JCB Fastrac, love them or hate them, and we know it's mixed in certain situations. I believe there's a place for Fastrac on most fleets because it's a go-to comfortable fast tractor.
There's also a cool feature on your aggressiveness.
Yes.
So if you get into that,
Response, yeah.
yes. So you know the way you would have your 1, 2, 3, like your
John Deere.
yeah. But you can actually have them as 1, 2, 3, or you can have them tuned, where you would say in 1 you would like her going fast, responding faster forward but not in reverse, or vice versa. So you can scale them sliders to where you would want her for different jobs. So say you were baling and you want her to slow up quicker than speed up, you could have that set. And then you can have your joystick response as well, even not just the transmission response. So how much of a movement. So see, that's there.
That is a good concept.
Yeah.
It's like even I know I'm not saying you're going to have but say on a wagon or something. If you wanted to stop quick without reaching for the brake.
Yeah.
But you never want to go. You want to always.
You always want to ease her into it again. And you can do that both in high and low range. You can have different settings for both. So yeah, when these here too, see if you configure this is not always green, by the way. These light up to what colours you configure them. So say I go on, I'm on control profile Gary at the minute. He just set one up there just to show me this is how you configure your.
Did he set a donkey one up?
So no. So basically this is. So if I go home again and then so you just drag up on there what you want.
Okay.
And then the round ones are ones that's proportional.
And the buttons on or off?
Yes.
So your axial or your slider for your thumb is proportional, but your 6, 7, 8, 9 is on or off.
But you could have your arms up or down on that if you wanted, say. But you can have them on this too. There's ones will cross over, but there's ones will not. So that's kind of the way it's square and round is the way Tom described it to me as you can't put a square peg in a round hole. That's the way it's, so you just drag to what, I will probably show that when we're not moving, but you literally click on what icon you want and drag it up in.
You need to pick something that's not selected.
You said there about 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So you do that.
Boom.
Okay, so you want diff lock. Select diff lock. Boom. Okay, and then if you go to spools, that's what they are at the moment. But say I change the colours around, I wanted what was on my green at the back closer to me, or white. If I want it at beside me, but it was plugged into the white spot,
you can basically make green become red and red become green.
Yeah.
And it'll light up correspondingly. Okay.
Went to an electric handbrake now too. I don't know whether that's a thing that was that a stage 5 thing.
That's doing all of that there's a iCON figure.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
You get
So that's basically the gist of it.
Nice.
You know what you can also do now? Steering lock out. Put on here too.
Oh, that's the job. Because I think that's #1 failure of guys with fast tracks not locking her out at speed on the road.
So you could literally, you could have that configured on here now, and if you don't like that,
Oh, but I do like that.
and then this is class. I think this.
Aye, great touch for fine control of your.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But you see, if you pull your back there and give her the full rev, right, on your control that you've set up there, your
Just
revs.
pull her right down.
I just slow her down. You
right,
give her
so
the full rev, right? Right.
She'll know it. She'll still keep me
Yeah.
at speed.
But where do you feel the difference of using that? Imagine you're chopping grass now, a wee bit faster. A wee bit, you know what I mean? Whenever you were doing that in your automatic mode, you were adjusting the revs a
I'm
lot.
literally doing that. That's
So go one
that's
more
a
wee.
10th of a kilometre at a time there.
Yeah. You know, she's a lot smoother accordingly doing it.
Yeah.
You're essentially the same tractor,
Yeah, that's the same machine.
but it's a stage 5. Would you see this as a... Now, we're not doing it because we can't afford to do it, but if we were to sit down and have a meeting and say, right, there's 3,000 hours now on the 4220. She's 3-year-old.
Yep.
We're going to upgrade it. This
Yep.
is what we're thinking. This is the cost. Would you be like, yeah, please? Or would you be like,
Look, I love our 4220.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's... But yeah, to get this alone, I think you'd have to consider it, yeah, definitely. I think for us that would make the fast track so much more usable for us, wouldn't it? With machines coming in, the demo, etc.
Big tick box or wee tick box?
Big tick box for me.
So all in all, you like the improvements.
Yeah,
You'd love to.
Garth,
I mean,
yeah.
I control, I configure, I connect. Isn't that it? I control, he configures, we connect. Oh, JCB, you missed a trick there.
This is the new marketing strategy.
Yeah, only need one eye. And it shouldn't be iCON, it should be iCON. iCON.